All right, hello everybody. So here we are continuing with 8.2. I made a video for you, so you should be able to watch these notes. So here we go. Um, so in the past, we've done the ratios using SOHCAHTOA. Now you have to know SOHCAHTOA. So sine of the angle is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. The C stands for the cosine of the angle is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And then the tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. So these are the trig functions we are going to use with a right triangle to find a missing side. Um, so let's just get right into it. Here's an example. Using the trig, find the missing parts. Now, what I've done in the past is I've told you, circle the angle that you have. In this case, we have this 48-degree angle, so I'm going to circle it. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because then I'm going to identify the other two parts, the side that we have a length for, and the variable compared to that angle. So x is opposite of that angle, 48 degrees. It is the opposite. So I'm going to put an O with it. The 20 I know is the hypotenuse because it is opposite the 90-degree angle. Now, thinking of those trig functions again, so ka, toa, which one deals with opposite and hypotenuse? So which is the sine? And the rule is sine of an angle is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of the angle, 48 degrees, is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Now, this sine of 48, you cannot do without a calculator. This must be done in a calculator. So I went to Desmos on the internet to show you. Here's the Desmos. And right here I have the sine button. So I'm going to hit the sine of 48 and hit enter. And it gives me an answer of 0.7431448255. I am only going to use 4 digits, so 4 decimal places. So 0.7431. So this becomes 0.7431. That is equal to x over 20. And it's x divided by 20. Well, if I want to get rid of divided by 20, I am supposed to multiply by 20. That'll get rid of it over here, so I have to multiply this side by 20. Go in the calculator, and a lot of times what I will do is I will keep that number, 0.7431448255, and then just hit times 20 and hit enter. 14.86, so I'll put 14.9 is equal to x. That is all we have to do when we use trig to find a missing part of a right triangle. Let's look at another one. All right. So here's another one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to circle my angle. 36 degrees is my angle, so I'm circling that angle. I am going to identify the parts, the x and the 20, based on that angle. The x is right next to that angle. That's the adjacent side. The 20 is the hypotenuse. So of the 3 trig functions, so ka, toa, which one uses the adjacent and the hypotenuse? And that is cosine. And the rule is cosine of the angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Cosine of the angle. Well, our angle is 36 degrees. It is equal to the adjacent side, which is x, over the hypotenuse, which is 20. Remember, cosine of 36, this must be done in a calculator. Must be done in a calculator. There's no other way to do it. Now, if you're using one of the gray calculators in my class, or if you're using your cell phone, which you could, just remember on a test you cannot use your cell phone, so don't get used to using it. But you have to, on the gray calculators or I know Apple phones, you actually hit 36, then the cosine button, and it'll give you the answer. So I'm going to use the Desmos calculator just so you can see what number I'm going to get. Let me clear all this. So I'm going to hit cosine 36 degrees and hit enter. 0.80901699944. But again, I'm only going to use 4 decimal places, 0.8090. So 0.8090 is equal to x divided by 20. I want to get rid of divided by 20, so I need to multiply by 20 to both sides. So again, like I said with the calculator, I usually leave that entire number there. So I'm going to leave that entire number and just hit times 20, hit enter, and there you can see 16.180. I'll go to first decimal place, which ends up being 16.2. So 16.2 is equal to x. Okay, let me show you tangent. All right, so here's an example of a tangent one. Circle the angle first. I'm going to label the sides based on that. 15 is right next to it. It's the adjacent. X is the opposite. Obviously, out of SOHCAHTOA, the one that deals with O and A is the tangent. And the rule is tangent of the angle is equal to opposite over adjacent. Tangent of 25 degrees is equal to x over 15. Again, this tan of 25 you cannot do without a calculator. You must plug it into calculator. If you are using a great calculator from the classroom or your cell phone, remember you're going to probably have to hit 25 first and then hit the tan button. On Desmos, on the website, I put tan first and then 25, and the tangent of 25 is 0.4663. 0.4663. So 0.4663 is equal to x divided by 15. And then, of course, to get the x by itself, I want to get rid of divided by 15, and I'll get rid of that by multiplying by 15. That'll cancel it on this side, and now I just need to multiply by 15 on this side. Again, leave that full number in your calculator, 0.4663076,582, and then just hit times 15, hit enter, and you'll get your answer. So this one came out to 6.99. If I round to the nearest tenth, that means I would have to round it up to 7.0 is equal to x. 7.0 is equal to x. All right, let's look at one more. All right. Now the reason why I want to look at this one, because this one's a little bit different, and I'll show you how. First thing we should do, circle the angles. So I'm circling the angle that I have. It's 65 degrees. Now I'm going to label the parts. 15 is opposite of that angle. X is the hypotenuse. Of the 3 trig functions, SOHCAHTOA, which one deals with O and H? And that is SO. The rule is sine of the angle is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 65 degrees is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. All right, now, the reason why this one is different, in the 3 previous problems, the variable was the numerator. In this case, if you notice, the variable is the denominator for this one. So how can we solve this? I'm going to show you an easy way. Anytime the variable is the denominator, anytime the variable is the denominator, switch variable with the trig. So because x is the denominator, I'm going to switch these two. Switch them. So x is now 15 divided by sine of 65. Okay, now this is all calculator work. This is strictly calculator work. So with the calculator that I have, the Desmos, I can easily just type it just like that. Watch. 15 divided by sine of 65. See how even in it shows up just like I just wrote it. 15 divided by sine of 65. I hit enter. There's my answer. 16.55. I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, which means 16.6. X equals 16.6. Now, if you have a great calculator or that you're using your cell phone, what you would do is you would do this. 15 divided by 65 sine, enter, or equal. And you would get the same answer, 16.6. Okay, so the only difference now is obviously the other ones could be cosine or tangent. But you're going to use SOHCAHTOA. If the variable ends up in the denominator, switch it with the trigonometry, and then just plug it into the calculator. All right, guys. Watch this video as many times as you want. The more you watch it, the better notes you can take, the better you get back at solving these missing sides of right triangles. All right, guys. Have a great one.